I still remember the day my wife, Margaret, said to me, "Walter, I don't know how much more of this I can take." We were sitting in our small kitchen in Oakdale, Illinois, and I had just come home from another long day at the office. I had no idea what she was talking about, but the look in her eyes told me it was something serious. I'm Walter, 78 years old, and I've learned a thing or two about life, but the one lesson that still haunts me to this day is that I spent most of my life chasing the wrong things. I grew up in Oakdale, a small town in the Midwest, where everyone knew each other's names. I was a young man with big dreams, and I thought that success was the key to happiness. I worked hard, climbed the corporate ladder, and made a lot of money. I thought that was what it was all about. But here is what I never told anyone: I was miserable. I was so focused on my career that I neglected my family, my friends, and even myself. It was the 1970s, and I was living in a big house with a beautiful wife and 2 kids. We had everything we needed, but I was never satisfied. I always wanted more. I would work late nights, travel on weekends, and miss out on important family events. My wife would try to talk to me about it, but I wouldn't listen. I thought I was doing it all for them, but in reality, I was doing it for myself. I was chasing a dream that wasn't even mine. I remember one particular day when my daughter, Emily, was playing in the school play. She was so excited to have me there, but I missed it. I was stuck in a meeting that could have been rescheduled, but I chose not to. When I got home, Margaret was furious. She said, "Walter, you're missing out on the most important things in life." But I just shrugged it off and told her that I was doing it for our family's future. But here is what I never told anyone: I was scared. I was scared that if I didn't keep climbing the ladder, I would fall behind. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to provide for my family. I was scared that I would fail. So I kept pushing, kept striving, and kept sacrificing. But the more I pushed, the more I lost. I lost touch with my family, I lost my friends, and I lost myself. It wasn't until my mother passed away that I realized what was truly important. She was a simple woman who lived a simple life. She didn't have much, but she was happy. She had a garden, a few close friends, and a family that loved her. As I was going through her things, I found a letter she had written to me. It said, "Walter, I'm proud of the man you become, but don't forget to live." Those words hit me like a ton of bricks. The revelation hit me hard. I realized that I had been chasing the wrong things. I had been chasing success, money, and status, when what truly mattered was love, family, and happiness. I had been so focused on the future that I forgot to live in the present. I forgot to enjoy the small moments, the everyday moments that make life worth living. But here is what I never told anyone: it took me a long time to come to terms with my mistakes. It took me a long time to forgive myself and to start making changes. I slowly started to prioritize my family, my friends, and myself. I started to take time off, to travel, to enjoy nature, and to pursue my passions. I started to live. And that's when Margaret said to me, "Walter, I don't know how much more of this I can take." It was then that I realized that I had been given a second chance. I had been given the opportunity to make things right, to start over, and to live the life I truly wanted. I told her that I was sorry, that I had been blind, and that I wanted to start anew. And to my surprise, she forgave me. Now, I'm 78 years old, and I can look back on my life with a sense of pride and regret. I'm proud of the man I've become, but I regret the time I wasted chasing the wrong things. But here is what I never told anyone. I'm grateful for the journey. I'm grateful for the mistakes, the failures, and the struggles. Because it's through those experiences that I've learned the one lesson that I want to share with you, that life is not about what you achieve, but about how you live. And that's the story of how I spent 40 years chasing the wrong things. It's a story of regret, of forgiveness, and of redemption. So, if you want to hear more stories like this, if you want to learn from my mistakes, and if you want to start living the life you truly want, then subscribe to my channel. But as I stand here today, reflecting on the journey that has brought me to this moment, I am reminded that it's never too late to change course, to reevaluate our priorities, and to start anew. The question is, what will you do with the time you have left? Will you continue down a path that is not truly yours? Or will you find the courage to break free and forge a new way? For me, it took a series of wake-up calls, each one more jarring than the last, to finally understand that I had been living someone else's dream, not my own. I remember the day it all came crashing down, the day I realized that I had been sleepwalking through life, going through the motions, but not truly living. It was a devastating moment, but also a liberating one, because it marked the beginning of my journey towards self-discovery and healing. I started to peel back the layers, to confront the fears and insecurities that had driven me to chase the wrong things for so long. And what I found was a deep sense of emptiness, a feeling of disconnection from my true self and from the world around me. But as I began to fill that emptiness, to nurture my soul, and to reconnect with my passions, I started to feel alive again. I started to see the world in a new light, to appreciate the beauty and wonder that had been there all along, but had been hidden from me by my own blindness. And I realized that it's never too late to start over, to start anew, to create the life you truly want. It's a scary thought, I know, to leave behind the familiar and to venture into the unknown. But it's also a thrilling one, because it holds the promise of discovery, of growth, and of transformation. As I look back on my journey, I am reminded of the power of forgiveness, not just of others, but of ourselves. We are all capable of making mistakes, of taking wrong turns, and of stumbling in the dark. But it's how we respond to those mistakes that matters, whether we let them define us or whether we use them as opportunities for growth and learning. For me, forgiveness has been a journey, a process of letting go of the past and of embracing the present moment. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it, because it allows us to move forward, to heal, and to find peace. So, if you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling lost, or if you're simply feeling curious about what's possible, then I invite you to join me on this journey of self-discovery and exploration. Let's embark on this path together, with openness, with curiosity, and with a willingness to learn and to grow. Let's create a life that is true to who we are, a life that is authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling. It's a journey that won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it, because it's a journey that leads us home to ourselves, and to the life we were meant to live. As we embark on this journey, we begin to uncover the layers that have been hiding our true selves. We start to peel away the expectations, the doubts, and the fears that have held us back for so long. It's a process that requires patience, kindness, and compassion towards ourselves as we navigate the twists and turns of our own hearts. We learn to listen to the whispers of our intuition, to trust the gentle nudges that guide us towards our deepest desires. And as we do, we start to notice the world around us in a new light, as if the colors have become more vibrant, the sounds more nuanced, and the textures more richly layered. We begin to see that every experience, every person, and every moment is an opportunity for growth, for learning, and for connection. We start to understand that our lives are not just a series of random events, but a beautifully woven tapestry, with each thread carefully intertwined to create a unique and intricate pattern. And as we gaze upon this tapestry, we start to recognize the beauty, the complexity, and the simplicity of our own stories. We see that our struggles, our triumphs, and our heartaches are all part of a larger narrative, one that is still being written, still being lived. As we journey deeper into the depths of our own hearts, we start to discover our own inner wisdom, our own inner guidance. We learn to trust ourselves, to trust our instincts, and to trust the universe to support us on our path. We begin to see that we are not alone, that we are part of a larger web of humanity, connected to every person, every creature, and every element of the natural world. And as we feel this sense of connection, this sense of belonging, we start to understand that our lives are not just about our own individual journeys, but about the impact we have on the world around us. We realize that our presence, our energy, and our love have the power to touch, to heal, and to transform the lives of others. We see that our stories, our experiences, and our wisdom have the power to inspire, to guide, and to uplift those who are struggling, who are searching, and who are seeking. And as we share our gifts, our talents, and our hearts with the world, we start to feel a sense of purpose, a sense of direction, and a sense of fulfillment. We start to understand that our lives are not just about our own personal growth, but about the positive impact we can have on the world. And so, as we continue on this journey, we come to realize that the journey itself is the destination. The process of growth, of learning, and of becoming is what brings us joy, what brings us fulfillment, and what brings us home to ourselves. We learn to appreciate the beauty of the present moment, to cherish the beauty of our own imperfections, and to honor the beauty of our own unique journey. We start to see that our lives are a work of art, a masterpiece in the making, with every brushstroke, every color, and every texture carefully crafted to create a unique and breathtaking picture. As we look back on our journey, we see that every step, every decision, and every choice has led us to this moment, to this place of wisdom, of love, and of acceptance. We see that our lives have been a journey of discovery, of exploration, and of creation. And as we look to the future, we know that the best is yet to come, that the greatest moments, the greatest joys, and the greatest triumphs are still ahead of us. We know that we will continue to grow, to learn, and to evolve, and that our lives will continue to unfold in ways that are beyond our wildest dreams. And so, we take a deep breath, we let go of our fears, and we step into the unknown, knowing that we are ready, knowing that we are capable, and knowing that we are exactly where we need to be.